Hello, Pastor Steve Waldron with New Life Pentecostal Church in Albany, Georgia here with one of the best books that defends that the early church was Acts 2:38 oneness. And obviously they're for God. There's really no question about that. And it is in German. It's written in theological German by Hubner, put out by Brill Publishing, which is who publishes like from Harvard University and that type of thing. It's high academic publishing. And it's called Der Paradox Eine. Now you might say, well, Pastor Waldron, do you read theological German? No. I've wanted to. I've studied, obviously studied English. I've studied Hebrew, Greek, Latin, and Spanish. I would love to learn theological German because there's a wealth of information in theological German, and French too. But, you know, I can kind of pick up Antignostiker, Monarchianism, so Monarchians, which were oneness people, against the Gnostics. Now, you might say, well, this is going to be a boring review. It's not. I'm going to read you in English what this book is about. Here's what this book about. These essays propose a new dating of an historical setting for the letters of Ignatius of Antioch, who had a lot of oneness leanings. Brother Bernard brings that out in some of his books. Oneness and Trinity, 100-300 AD. In so doing, this volume forms an important contribution to the study of monarchianism in early church history as well. Now, monarchianism, you either had modalistic monarchianism or dynamic monarchianism. These are designations modern scholars have put on early belief systems. But modalistic monarchianism, at least one strain of it, would be what apostolics are today. So it's like, okay, we're going to look at what apostolics are in the early church. We're going to have to look at early church. Please keep listening. This is important. An examination of the fragments of Notius of Smyrna. Now, those of you who study ancient church history know Notius was in Rome, and he was oneness. And so was Victor, and so was Zephyrinus, and Callistus, basically, and probably Eleutherus before them. Notius was a oneness proponent at Rome. The founder of monarchianism, now, that's in error. He's not. The apostles and God himself are the founder of monarchianism, but they're going to actually kind of contradict that in just a moment. Leads to the discovery of the oldest regula fide, the rule of faith. So they said, here's the oldest rule of faith that we can find. And of its origin as part of anti-Gnostic polemics. Anti-Gnostic. Now, who was the first person that referred to the Christian God as three hypostasis, or three persons? Valentinus, the Gnostic, on the three essences in 149 AD. So they're saying, look, God is not three hypostasis. God is one. Even Jerome said that. The one who made the Latin Vulgate was like, I can't refer to God as three hypostases. You can read about it, the Ante-Nicene Fathers. Unless Pope Damasus told him to, then he said he would. But he said it's crazy. It's barbaric, I think was his term. On the ground of late 2nd century parallels, please keep listening, especially Melito and Irenaeus, this regula can be dated to between 160 and 180 CE. It is within this context that the so-called letters of Ignatius fit seamlessly. This is the most important paragraph. As a result of these findings, this volume argues for a significant revision of our understanding of early church history. Monarchianism, parenthetical, Sabellianism, Patripassianism, later considered heretical, is shown to have been the almost universally accepted belief within the church, up to the Roman bishops Zephyrinus and Callistus. The whole early church believed apostolic theology till about 180, with very few exceptions. That's this book. I have been praying that God would give me a copy of this book for years. It came out in 1998, 1999. It's as important as Lars Hartman's book on the name of Jesus. More so, probably. I've just been able to get it. Why? Because the cheapest you can find it is $98 online. And that's coming from like Switzerland and or maybe it's the Netherlands, and the postage was crazy. So I ended up having to pay over $150 for this book. But what price can you pay to defend the truth and to get it out there? So, and this fits in, what they don't say, it fits in with Tertullian perfectly. When Tertullian is writing against Praxeas, another oneness believer, he says, your rule of faith says you can't believe in una substantia in tres personae, which that was something Tertullian came up with, who Tertullian later became in a group of people, a sect of people who almost totally went oneness. So who knows, Tertullian may have went oneness later, but that North African bishop of, Tertullian, North African lawyer, excuse me, was writing against oneness at that time, and he said, your very rule of faith forbids you. And he also says, you always are the majority of the believers. Confirms exactly what is said here. So, this book, man, I wish maybe God would grant every apostolic pastor, home, every Bible college needs a copy of this book. Put the English understanding with it. That's what I do. We know it's the truth. Biblically, we know it's the truth. But history's on our side as well. God bless you. Have a great day in Jesus.